Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we're back with the Cosmic Top 10 champions in the game, in my opinion, in July, almost August 2024. I'm going to jump straight in with some honourable mentions, then we'll go through the top 10 and let me know down below in the comments who you agree with, who you maybe disagree with, who you would change, swap around. There's a few champions in here that you might want to switch around, and who your number one is. And finally, just remember, this is all my opinion. I've sort of, when looking at how champions are played by, the real god tier players out there, CG Slayer with Gods with CGR, make CGR the best champ in the game. But Karate Mike's doing really great things with Gladiator at the moment. Galleon is just a great champ depending on matchups. This game is heavily matchup dependent, so just remember that when thinking about these rankings as well. So some of the honourable mentions, we will begin with Gore. I really like Gore. Think he's a good champion to use, good defender. Could potentially, if his ramp up was a little bit better, or he could be used in maybe a few more immunities would be quite nice for Gore, and I think that would make him easily fall into this top 10. Nice play style, a little bit long, not super great for long fights, but not super great for short fights. Maybe he fits in that questing area. Probably why he falls in it in the honourable mentions. Hyperion, another one, good 7-star to get. But again, don't quite think he makes it into the top 10 for the same reason as Gore. Corvus is one. Corvus and Maestro are two champions who possibly who could fall into that top 10. That 10 spot for sure, 10 or 9. Corvus, there are a lot of Avengers in game, easy to ramp him up. Big damage on that SP2, and that sort of immortality is quite nice. And then with Maestro, just such heavy glancing on him, lots of buffs, can do big damage, fun champion to use, and it's always fun to have sort of like a Maestro playable character. So he could fall in at 10 as well. I've not used Maestro too much. I've not got his 7-star, and the only way to get him is through Necropolis completion, which costs a lot, and just because it costs so much, the champion at 10 beats him out really on that reason, and that is because obviously the champion at 10 is Deathless King Groot. A Deathless champion, so a little easier to get. You can see how Vision at the moment, he's not been too tricky to get, this Deathless Vision. You do have to complete that sort of the Alliance War quest. You did have to complete the victory track, but other than those two things, it's not been too majorly difficult as of yet to complete Vision. Free-to-play players can do it, and that's why Deathless King Groot is definitely someone who should be at 10 rather than, say, a Maestro, because the ease of completion for Deathless King Groot was much easier than it was for Maestro. Massive survivability, that regen is huge. The amount of Furies that you can build up is very nice with the SP2 Poison. You stack a couple of those and you'll be absolutely golden. Take him in incursions and he'll absolutely fly. He'll really carry for you. And the Incinerate rather than the Poison on the SP2 for Deathless King Groot does make him extra powerful. Cool design, and like I said, the ease of getting him very, very nice. We have got the Deathless Reaper synergy in here. Who wonder who that's going to be? Not 100% sure quite yet. It'll probably be maybe Deathless Vision, but we'll see. So let's move into number 9. Champion also as a 7-star, I've not unlocked yet, is Adam Warlock. Again, I was torn between Adam Warlock, Maestro, Deathless King Groot, and Corvus. I have gone with Adam Warlock because I think he's just a very fun champ. Good damage, a little bit of the buff. It's quite nice for him. He is available as a 7-star. He can do big damage. Does have quite a fun loop. Lots of buffs, and I think the little pod is it's different. You don't see many champions with it. I think he is quite an interesting champion. He has the ability to do a ton of damage, and I think a few people don't quite, I feel like there's a lot more to see from Adam Warlock in the coming months, which is why I've put him in at 9. At 8, we go with potentially my first rank 3. I've seen your guys' votes. You voted for Venom. We have got a Titan Crystal coming at up very soon. You would have probably already seen that video by now, so you all know whether this Venom is my rank 3 or not. I currently don't know. It'll either be Venom or Serpent. It'll be one of those two champions. It'll probably be Venom. The chances of us getting Serpent from the Titan Crystal is quite low. Venom, very great champ. Could easily switch with the champion who's in 7. Just reliable, bleeds on a cosmic champ's quite rare, so that's very nice. He doesn't have many immunities, which is potentially why he's in at 8. But very easy play style. You know, really you're just thinking about throwing your SP1, throwing your SP1, throwing your SP1, building up some buffs, converting those buffs with the SP2 into some nice furies, and really just watching the bleeds tick. True Strike on all champions below, I think it's about 20% health, 18% maybe, and all Spider-Verse champions is very nice. You know, you do get those annoying evading Spider-Verse champs like Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, so that's nice. And I think that's why Venom's coming in at 8, just above, or just below, sorry, Gladiator. These two, as I mentioned, could be switched around. I'm very unsure about the 7 and 8 mix. I personally do like Gladiator. I think he's a fun champ. I know his Intimidate can be a bit frustrating, but, you know, if you combo, you know, you do a couple combos, charge a heavy, that puts the Intimidate on, then just dash up before you dash in. That does usually cause the defender to block, which is very nice. Building up his confidence, taking those in through fights does make Gladiator quite fun. And the fact of just hitting while they're throwing their special attack, doing direct damage, is also a fun way of taking champs down. Lots of buffs. Again, not too many immunities, which is potentially why these two champions are at 7 and 8. Could easily switch. I have got this Gladiator here as well. So yeah, Gladiator is in at 7. Karate Mike doing some very nice things in that Alliance War quest with Gladiator. If you need to see some great gameplay for him, go and check out Karate Mike's videos, because you can see there how much damage he can truly do. In at 6, we've gone with the champion I'd love as my 7-star. I'd love to rank up Null. Obviously named the name of this channel. One of my favourite 6-stars, potentially one of my, I think he was my first rank 3 6-star. Amazing champion with the armor breaks. Really quite an easy loop. You know, he doesn't need to be awakened, but if he is, it does help his build, his ramp up quite nicely. Gets those corruptions on him. You know, throwing heavies, can also have that True Strike on those. We're going to find it now so I don't get it wrong. The symbiote attacks, he does have true accuracy, as you can see there. So, you know, no evade is quite nice on those. On the Necrosword attacks, they pause the corruption, which is nice, but I also think that his survivability is quite high. Regenning when awakened, as you can see here, when they will gain a regeneration effect, it is obviously replaced with nulls. But the nice thing with him, when in corruption, every symbiote attack that you do will you will gain some health back from that. So it is possible, as longer the corruption is on, to basically regen back up to 100%. With Galleon's Herald, in incursions can be really nice, because you obviously build up that reduction to damaging debuffs that Null already has from bleed and poisons, but you're increasing that. He basically ends up having about 90% bleed resistance, and you know, massively decreasing those bleeds. We'll now move into number 5, who is my other option, hopefully, for rank 3, and it is the Serpent. Cold Snap immunity straight off the bat is a very nice immunity to have. A lot of of different new type of buffs. You know, you've got True Focus in there. You've got an Inexorable, so you know, not moving back when hit. Also has the death immunity buff, which is it's just so strong. Not being it, that buff not being able to be nullified or staggered is huge. The amount of damage he can do, Lagsy used him in the Alliance War quest again, and just the amount of damage he was doing to Jessica Jones in there is unbelievable. A very, very strong champion, one of the best defenders in the game, so his dual threat is huge. He can be super useful in Battlegrounds, which, as you guys know, is probably the largest, or at least the most popular game mode in Marvel Contest of Champions at the moment. So the Serpent is just a great champion to have. Very strong on offense, but an even better defender. Lots and lots of buffs you have to deal with there. You basically have to have a perfect counter for the Serpent, or you'll be struggling a lot. And just very, very cool champion, in my opinion, and one I'm hoping to take up a level. So that's our 10 to 5. We're now into the top 4. Probably quite an obvious top 4 for you guys, but a couple 6-star limited champions. So could the Serpent potentially rise when 6 stars fall out? But not for the moment, in my opinion, because in at 4 we've got Galleon. Firstly, we just want to talk about how the synergies of his heralds and the ability after he's won a fight to create cosmic, like to plant the cosmic seed and create heralds, as it says there. Unblockable when launching a special attack, 7% resistance to all damaging debuffs for each victory, a max of 5, so 35% resistance to all damaging debuffs after 5 victories from that said champion, whoever you choose, as we just mentioned. No, I've fully ranked him up and ascended him now, so the max planetary mass obviously is 999, but the amount of damage, direct damage that does, is looking at about 240k, which is a lot of Battlegrounds health pools. In the last meta, he was unbelievable. You just let them hit into your block a couple times, you threw your heavy attack, and bang, they were dead. Really, really carried me to the Gladiator circuit, which is very, very, very helpful. And then on defense as well, you've got to have your Rintras, your Dooms, a Mystic Champion to nullify or stagger him. Otherwise, the amount of buffs he's about to generate is huge. He will take you down very, very quickly, and it's very difficult to avoid. A few immunities, but not many. Could he potentially have more, being basically a planet-sized person? Lots of resistance to physical and energy damage, which is nice if you fully ramp him up, so he can survive for quite a while. I really like Galleon. I'm not sure if we'll see him as a 7-star. I think all the champions mentioned already, are 7 stars. The next 3 or the next 4 are all limited to 6 stars, and I'm not sure if we'll see any of them as 7 stars. Possibly Galleon we will see, because as health pools get bigger, with rank 4, rank 5, 7 stars, Galleon won't be able to take them all out as a 6-star, and to keep him in the power. Keep him within the power curve, they probably will have to bring him in as a 7-star. So Galleon comes in at 4. At 3, I've gone with CGR. I potentially think Hulkling could... Hulkling is at 2 and Hercules, of course, at 1. So spoiler, but we'll talk through them all now. CGI potentially could go higher. I've just ascended ranked mine to rank 4. I know he's probably not going to get a 7-star because of how strong he is. And I'm just trying to learn his rotations. The amount of damage he can do is obscene, and I've really wanted to give that a go. Personally, not really used him, so it's nice to be giving him a go. Bleed and Incinerate immunity, 30k damage on like mediums if they crit is just like I said, obscene. Not too many synergies, but if you've got the one with Man Thing, the Unstoppable buff does allow you to build up that big aptitude rotation that you do see Slayer of Gods doing. Slayer of Gods is another YouTuber, if you guys obviously will know him already, but he puts out mainly CGR videos and helping you guys how to play with CGR. Highly recommend all his videos. Some amazing videos in there to help you use CGR and to show you that CGR probably is one of the best champions in the game. So yeah, CGR comes in at 3 for me. Very strong champion. Really starting to enjoy him now as I've begun playing him. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of CGR at 3 in the comments down below. We'll now move into our number 2, which is Hulkling. I still don't have a 6-star Hulkling, which I think is crazy. So I'm still looking for that. I mean, the fact that a champion can go indestructible, such strong pierces, he can regen, he can go unblockable, the SP2 damage that he's doing, the amount of buffs that he has. As an attacker, he is unbelievable, but just as a defender, you know, you need to have a counter for Hulkling, otherwise the fight will take so long. In Battlegrounds, he's taken fights so quickly. In his immunities allow him in questing to be so strong. Really, like CGR, there's not too much to say just because his loop's quite easy. The indestructibles help you out a lot of times if you make a mistake. His SP2 is so strong and does so much damage that with the power gain that he gets and the aptitudes that he can build, you're doing so much damage so often that Hulkling just takes so many fights and truly is. I remember when he came out with Galleon. I'm pretty sure he came out with Galleon, or did he come out with Wiccan? No, he came out with Wiccan. And I remember when he came out saying this is one of the best champions in the game. And obviously people were still a little bit underrating him, but it didn't take long for him to come in and people just immediately say like this champion is unbelievable. And the best thing you can say about Hulkling is that he has a case for being the #1 champion probably in the game, which is Hercules. The immortality on Hercules is still completely broken. You could bet your house that we'd never see a 7-star. Similar to how you never see a 6-star Quake or Magic, you'll never see a 7-star Hercules. The first champion that they made like this, and truly will be the last. Damage he can do, you know, when it comes to things like acceptance of pain, that was crazy. The fact that if you just bought in a Hercules, you'd be fine and you'd complete it easily. The saving of revives and health potions, people don't. I mentioned already, like, the main part of this game is revives. When you truly think about it, you want the best possible champions in the game because it will save you revives in hard fights. Hercules has probably saved the community as a whole millions and millions of revives. And that in itself shows why he's such a strong champion. But not only that, he can counter miss. He has big crit numbers. He can stun for so long on his SP2. He can build up his damage throughout fights. He can, you know, if you get him to 12 feats of strength and he starts with that in incursions and in long form content, the damage that he's doing as a ascended rank 6 is unbelievable, fully maxed out. He is by far the best champ in the game, and I'm definitely 100% sure of that. So that is the Cosmic ranking. If you guys have agreed or disagree, let me know in the comments down below what you would change. Is Null better than Serpent? Is Serpent better than Null? Is Gladiator higher up, or should Adam Warlock fall out of the list? I want to hear all of your opinions in the comments down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please like and subscribe. Get this video out there. I'd massively appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next ranking video. Goodbye.